So automation, I'm talking about automatic drips, bots, virtual assistants, all that stuff. Sounds really exciting, sounds really fun, and it's like, oh my gosh, I want to do that. But it's also, it can be overwhelming. You're like, how do I do that? Or what do I automate? And I just want to share with you exactly what I did. So starting in 2012, I really implemented automation in my business. I set up as much things automatically online with online tools that I could, and I hired a virtual assistant. And I actually broke it down into 6 steps. I had to write it down because it all kind of rhymes, and it didn't rhyme back then. I just did it. And then I went back and looked at what I did. So let me just tell you what I did, and then I'll explain how it works. So it goes like this: preparation, implementation, documentation, delegation, motivation, automation. All right. So let me explain what that, because you see, delegation was on down there a little bit. And what I did was I went to Fiverr.com, and I hired a virtual assistant. And you should do this. Like, you should totally go and hire a virtual assistant, or someone like a high school kid, or hire someone, because then that immediately makes your brain go, all right, I just hired this person. What the crap do I have them do all day? Or what do I have them do for an hour? Or what is something that they can do that will help me take a load off so I can do a higher level thing? If they're getting paid $15 an hour, or $20 an hour, or $10 an hour, whatever, don't do those $10 an hour tasks. What can I do? Maybe sell to a bride that I can make thousands of dollars. Those are $1,000 tasks, So this virtual assistant or this high school kid can't sell on the phone. I need to do more selling. And so that's where I went through the list. So the delegation is actually number 4. So first you got to prepare. Preparation, I mean, that's your business, right? Like, you've got to, this is how I expect this to go down. Like, I want my business to grow. I want to do this. I'm going to do this. It's preparing, but it's not exactly how it's going to go down. As we all know, it doesn't always work out the way we planned, but you still got to prepare a little bit. Don't get stuck in the preparation phase. Just prepare a little bit and then go, because implementation is what it's all about. Massive action, getting this stuff done, just going. You got to prepare a little bit, but then go. So implementation is number 2, implementation. And that means, like, while you're doing your booking, your selling, your actual trade, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. So there's not a whole lot to say about that. You just do your thing. But the third thing is documentation. So while you're doing the thing, have a phone, have your Evernote, have a Google Doc, have a piece of paper, have a notebook, and document how this thing goes down. Say you're checking emails and you hate to check emails. Well, document. I bet you money there's only like 10 email respondents or 10 messages that you need to say over and over and over. And it's just the same thing. You're just saying the same thing. So that would be an example. I create a frequently asked questions. I give it to my virtual assistant. If somebody says, hey, what's your pricing? He kicks back a template. And just on a note, if they ask what the pricing is, I don't send back the pricing. I actually say, hey, set up a call and let me chat with you. That's another inside joke. Inside tip. Not a joke. That's for real. All right. So where do we get to? We got to documentation. That was an example of emails. What would be another one? So we have 10 guys on staff. We have 10 DJs. Maybe you've got a bunch of photographers. Maybe you have a bunch of wedding planners. So what my virtual assistant does is he will, as soon as we book a gig, he will disperse and say, hey, which one of you guys can do the gig? And we will assign the right DJ. He does all that because I documented. This is exactly, send them this email, gather together the information, pick the one on this reasoning, and then assign them, send them a contract, do this, and he does that because it was documented and it was, it can be automated. So automation isn't just a tool. It's not just a bot. It can be a person. It can be like a virtual assistant, someone that lives in your neighborhood. So that was number 3, documentation. Number 4, delegation. This is where it gets kind of scary because we're small business owners. We usually do everything ourselves. We try to grow this thing all on our own. But I'm promising you, when I started letting things go in 2012 and giving things to my virtual assistant, that's when we started growing. Because I was actually dropping the ball on some stuff that I didn't realize that I was doing. Like, I was missing emails, there was contracts not sent, things like that. And he looks over my shoulder and makes sure that everything gets accomplished. So once I delegated, we grew massively. We grew quickly, rapidly. All right, but delegation is one thing. You can tell somebody to do it, but I don't know if anybody's ever told you to do something. You can do something, and then you can just kind of fizzle out. You can stop doing it. You can be motivated at first because you want to make a little money, but then you're like, well, I still get paid the same, whether I work hard or not. So the next thing is motivation. Motivation is the name of the game, and there's several ways to motivate. You can make it rain to motivate people. That can be cool, but I've seen some companies that do amazing things. They have the greatest culture. Everybody's super hype. I mean, when they walk into work every day, there's confetti cannons going off, poo, 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 and those dudes are making minimum wage. How do they do it? Well, they build culture. And so you can do it with money, you can do it with culture, and you can do it with goals. If everybody's super focused, laser focused on making a goal and hitting that goal, and then when you hit that goal, reward everybody with something. I mean, it could be a pizza party, it could be going to a club, it could be whatever your level is. Even if it's just you and a virtual assistant, hitting that goal makes it exciting for everyone. And so that's the motivation part. Last is automation. And once you have everything automated, you got to check in on it. You got to check in every quarter, every 6 months, every year to make sure that the automation thing is actually working and it's working effectively. So it's not just set it and forget it. I mean, it's automated. I've gone on vacation for 2 weeks and came back and it's still going, but you just can't forget about it forever. You got to automation is good, but you still got to keep your finger on the pulse and just, hey, is this thing still beating? All right, we're good. I want to give you guys an offer. If you want to work with a virtual assistant or you want to set up automation and you're not sure exactly how to do it for your wedding business, I can hook you up. I can actually hook you up with my virtual assistant, and I'd love to. Nick is waiting on the phone. Literally, just set up a call with me and chat, and let's see how we can make this automation work. I think that it can help grow your business. It can help you focus on the things that you want to do, like actually take the pictures or DJ or plan the weddings or videography on the venue, whatever your deal is that your art is. A virtual assistant can help you focus on that, and it can give you time with your family. Instead of checking emails, sending contracts, making sure everything's good, a virtual assistant can do that. And maybe you're just sitting around and you're like, man, I wish that I had more stuff to do. A virtual assistant can do research. They can do comp prices. They can help you figure out what your angle is in the market. There's so much a virtual assistant can do, and there's so much that Wedding Crushers can do for you. So if you haven't yet, set up a call, weddingcrushers.biz/win, W-I-N. And let's have a discovery breakthrough strategy session and just chat and see where you're at with your company and how I can help. Guys, until next time, keep crushing those weddings.